Hey mathematicians, real quick, I wanted to give you a little extra support for tonight's practice. We had some really great conversations in class about this, but we didn't get to go as deep as I wanted to as far as how to put this into a calculator. So if you're watching this video and you don't have this in front of you, this is the back of what we did in class today with the Play-Doh. So here's the front, the spheres. You flip it over to the back. This is tonight's practice. If you don't have that in front of you, pause this video and put it in front of you and meet me right here at this spot. All right, hopefully you meet me right here. You should have a graphing calculator in your possession. Now, I'm not saying you should have gone to the store and purchased one. You should have a free graphing calculator app. That was the second homework assignment at the very beginning of the school year, was to find a free app. If you don't have a tablet or any kind of device like a cell phone or an iPad, then you can still have access to free online graphing calculators. If you don't have a computer at home, you don't have a cell phone at home, you can use the one in the library. So my point is, regardless of who you are and what you have available to you, all of you have the library where there are computers, and you can use a free online graphing calculator in order to do tonight's homework. So that's what I want to focus on, is how this looks using a graphing calculator. Okay, so here we go. Meet me right here. You should already have this much filled in. We're going to talk about this radius. This formula says that I need to take the radius and cube it. According to the visual, 4 is my radius because it's halfway from the center to the edge. My point that I'm trying to make is, what about the cubed? Does the cube go inside the parentheses or outside the parentheses? The only thing that goes inside the parentheses is whatever is replacing r. I'm substituting 4 for r, so 4 goes inside the parentheses and nothing else. My formula says that the radius is being cubed, so 3 should be on the outside. Okay, then from there, I'm not going to start typing this into my calculator just yet, and here's the reason. In class, you highlighted 2 things. Pi form, which means in terms of pi, and then you highlighted nearest tenth. If we keep going on this next step, we're going to get straight to our pi form answer. So let's do this next step. I want to simplify. Pi form means how many of these? How many pi's? How many 3.14s? Well, I don't know how many, but what I do know is there's going to be 4/3 times 4 cubed. Order of operation says I need to do this exponent first. So my next line should show that my volume will be 4/3 times 3 1400ths times 4 cubed does not mean 12. It's not 4 times 3. It's 4 times 4 times 4, which I know is 64. And if you don't, feel free to use your calculator. Now I'm ready. Now I want my answer in terms of pi. That literally means how many 3.14s. Well, now I can see how many. This times this. 4/3 of 64. That's how many 3.14s I need. So how do I find that out? Let's use that graphing calculator. I know how to put a fraction into a calculator. I'm going to press alpha y equals. You know that from that foldable we did a couple of months back. It should still be in your math spiral if you forgot. Alpha y equals. I want a basic fraction, so I'm going to press 1. My fraction is 4/3. 4 is my numerator. Arrow down. 3 is my denominator. I need that to be multiplied, so I'm going to hit the right arrow and put in a parentheses. Parentheses are found above the 8 and the 9. Here's the left parenthesis. Press that. I'm multiplying by 64. Here's the right parenthesis. Close that parentheses up and hit enter. Here's how many pi I need. Oh man, well wait a minute. 256/3 pi? I really want to see what that number is. I want to change that to a decimal. If it's a whole number, great, but if not, I want to see it as a decimal. So check this out. Once again, alpha y equals. Look at option 4. Fraction to decimal. If I hit option 4, press 4, it'll take my answer, which is 256/3, and it will conform it from a fraction to a decimal. There it is. Round that to the 10th, and there's my answer in terms of pi. So according to my calculator, my answer in terms of pi, V equals 85 and 3/10. I rounded to the 10th. Pi. Don't forget, 85 and 3/10 becomes a coefficient, essentially, and essentially pi becomes your variable. And label your answer cubic inches. Awesome. Well, now I just have one more step. Now I need to know what's my answer rounded to the nearest 10th. Well, there it is as a decimal times pi. So my last step, I'm going to take this value. I'm not going to round it. Leave that on the screen. Hit multiply. Take that long rational number, repeating decimal, multiply that by 3 14/100. Do not hit the pi button. Substitute 3 14/100. Press enter, round that to the 10th. Here's my second answer. My volume is 267 and, round to the 10th, 9/10 cubic inches. Every problem you solve will have two answers.